What's up, everybody? How are you doing today? You know what? I'm in a jamming type of mood. Are you in a jamming type of mood? Yeah. What was that?
Dirty Mac. Dirty Mac.
You know what? I'm just in a jamming type of mood. What's up, everybody? It's your boy MM2K back again with a special episode of Stadia live session. Wow. Woo! I'm sorry. Was that too loud? Let me see if I can adjust the volume there. Hold on. You gotta blame what's the call for that one? My bad, Raven Anime. You gotta blame what's this program? StreamYard for that one. Let me do it again at a more fathomable volume. Let's do that again. What was that?
Dirty Mac.
What?
Dirty Mac.
You know what I'm saying? Woo! Woo! I'm in a jamming type of mood. For those of you that don't know what that song is or where that excerpt is from, it's an excerpt from the song Dirty Mac off the Ice Cube album, The Predator. It was one of my favorite hip hop albums listening to as I was growing up. You know what I'm saying? It's not for the faint of heart. There is a clean version though. There is a clean version. So if you want to listen to that song and try to get the gist of it, or if you want to jam out, woo, then go look for Dirty Mac on YouTube and look for a clean version. There's a clean version of not only Dirty Mac, but the whole Predator album. Which I appreciate that because I'm not one of those parents, even though I be jamming to my old school jams with the kids in the car, I'm not one of those parents that be playing it with all the curse words. I play all the clean versions of my old jams when I'm in the car with the kids. So I appreciate I can listen to, I can jam out. You know what I'm saying? Woo! I can jam out to some Cube. What?
Dirty Mac.
I can jam out to some Cube. Let me stop. I could jam out to some Ice Cube, Dirty Mac, and do so it's still being a responsible adult and parent. With that said, let me shout out the chat. Let me do something real quick. Y'all know how we do. I want to grab something real quick because we're going to let people know in the Discord that we are live. I normally don't do Stadia live sessions on Tuesdays. I normally drop a couple of videos, for the mind. Couple of God degrees for the mind. But today I thought was a special occurrence. So, and I want to get you guys' thoughts on it. So hopefully I'll be able to do less blabbering on my part. We'll get more information on your part on what you think about this. Let's see here. Change some things around here. So... okay. Dirty Mac. Now the song Dirty Mac, the premise of the song Dirty Mac is it's a story of backstabbing. Ice Cube gives several scenarios of people that he worked with, people that he trusted, that backstabbed him. And he's telling those tales through his lens. And I haven't heard that song in years. I'm gonna be honest with you when I talk about not having the curse words in my song. I haven't played Dirty Mac since like 1994, I think it was, or around that time. 95 is when that album came out. I mean, I played it here and there, you know what I'm saying? Maybe a little bit after that, but I don't think I've played this song since 2000. So I haven't heard this song in a long time. But it came to my mind. It's just so weird. Also, what I want to do, y'all, is because the subject matter is Journey of the Savage Planet, and a lot of these publications that are talking about this erroneously swear that this is a widespread problem. I want to play for you gameplay that I played during launch. I've had multiple sessions of Journey to the Savage Planet. A lot of it I haven't recorded. but a lot of it, I played a lot of it. I played it in my car, you know what I'm saying, and some other places. And I have never experienced this problem. We're going to get into it. So what I want to do is just to show you guys that this isn't widespread. I want to show you what I and most of the people that I engage with, which is you, and people that I encounter that talk about this, what they get with the game. Not saying that the issue isn't there, it doesn't exist, it doesn't deserve being resolved, but we're going to put some truth to light, as we always do. But while we're doing that, let's shout out to chat. Woo! Dirty Mac. We got the homie Raven Anime Pika. We got Charles around. Hey, Charles, I like your song too, man. Woo! Collins Dynasty says, dope album. Yeah, man. A lot of people slept on Predator. A lot of people slept. I like Predator. You know what I'm saying? The song that I thought was Love Us, Hate Us by the Dirt. Yeah, exactly. El Boogie in the house. Haven't run into any issues with the game at all. That's what I keep hearing. Raven Anime says, I was 5 when it came out. Woo! I ain't going to play it again for a while. I'll hold off. Do me a huge favor. Hit that hunchback arrow. Let everybody know that we're live. We're going to talk about it. Okay. So let me put a little bit of background to this. So me and my good friend Duncan, we were having our occasional friendly spats on Twitter. As you all know, and I don't think Duncan will mind me saying this. And shout out to Duncan, and I wish him the best. He's indicated that there's just some things going on that's bothering him, and he's closing the shots that are coming at him, and I can get it. But I wish my friend all the best. My history with Duncan goes all the way back at the beginning of this platform. Duncan has been instrumental in helping me in ways that I can't even repay him for. So I don't want you guys to sit there and think that even though me and him go back and forth and we give, that's the same love that me and my Triple B brethren, we go through on a daily basis on every show. And I know sometimes Duncan may feel that I'm coming at him or I'm attacking him. No, it's just, I'm of the ilk that if you're going to make big, bold claims, you got to back it up. Just like, because I come through Fight Club. That's what, I couldn't go out here and say the things that I wanted to say because somebody would make me back it up. And I just feel that with the stature that he has, and not just him, but everybody that are pillars of the community, people look up to you. And when they look up to you, when you make big, bold, and brash claims, they feel that you've done that with a lot of research and a lot of precedent behind it. That's the automatic assumption. Jason Schreier tried to go on Twitter and say, ooh, y'all want to fault me because Twitter doesn't say this is a random thought tweet. If you don't say random thought, and then say what you got to say, how are we supposed to know it's a random thought? And Jason Schreier, you're a respected journalist that's supposed to have due diligence behind the stuff that you do. That's just a perception that you have. You can't shake it. I'm sorry. So if you're going off the beaten path of what you're perceived to be known for, you got to announce it. Random thought. And the same applies to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm big on doing due diligence and looking up stuff. So if I'm just blurting out some stuff that I haven't researched, I better say that, or somebody's going to pull my card and say, MM2K, you're supposed to be about shedding the unsuspecting gamer from falsehoods, and you didn't do it this time, and they're going to pull my card, and rightfully so. That's why I don't think it's a good practice to make big, bold claims unless you have precedent behind it, because people are going to pull your card. And this is the thing with this cloud community. See, I've had the luxury. And again, I don't think I'm better than anybody. I've just been, like I said, it's like a tornado watcher. If I was up the street before you, that don't make me better than you. It's just I happen to run into the tornado before you did. So I'm warning my cloud community. While this thing is niche, you might be able to get away with this stuff. But when this thing becomes, part of the mainstream cloud gaming, look, most of these cloud platforms are going to survive, and the best of the best is what's going to be durable. I have no doubt that not only Stadia, but GFN and Amazon, they're going to be around for a while, right? That being said, as stewards of these services, as people that want to talk about these services or fans or enthusiasts of these services, it ain't about the service. It's about that crowd that's out there. And I'm telling you, you're going to get eaten alive if you make big, bold claims and you don't have information to back it up. When I send out a tweet, believe you me, I thought about that tweet hours, hours before I sent it out. Unless it's a random tweet about Jujutsu Kaisen or anime or martial arts. If I'm making a big, bold claim, that tweet has been vetted for hours because my integrity is on the line. It's just the way that it is. And I don't expect to shield myself behind, oh, well, this was just a random thought. If it's a random thought, you better announce that if what you're known for just ain't random thoughts. If you're stewards of information, then that information has to be airtight. So that's all. It's no personal attack. It's the same stuff that I went through when I came into the game. And it only made me stronger. And I'm letting this community know that if you don't start making that as a habit, you're going to get eaten alive. The hell with an MM2K or Stadia Rev or Project Storm. The outside community, they're going to destroy you. And I know this ain't the first time that I've said that, but I keep trying to warn y'all. But I can show y'all better than I can tell y'all. I had an epiphany last Friday. From a lot of this stuff, I'm going to step back from. Some of the silly talk and engaging in the silly talk, I'm stepping back. I'm not even going to engage. I'm just going to watch you put the noose around your neck and finish the rest. I'm sorry. And for lack of a better description, I'm just going to sit back and watch y'all do it. I've been here over a year exclaiming, watch this, watch that, watch this, because of precedent. It's up to you. It's up to you what track you want to follow. So, with that said, that's the meat and potatoes behind the friendly back and forth between me and my brother Duncan. And like I said, he has every right. I've told everybody, if you have a right where if Duncan wants to just come on the platform and say what he wants to say, that Stadia is not going to make it in 6 months or whatever it is that my brother wants to say, he's entitled. Can no one stop him from saying? And if he wants to come and say it and block people that don't agree with him, he's entitled to that right. But decisions have consequences. If you want to engage in certain commentary and you're hard pressed to back it up, or you don't want to engage, you want to make bold claims without backing it up, there is a consequence to that. And I didn't make these rules. I'm not saying it's like, oh, you better do this because MM2K feels it. I'm not saying that because that's how I feel. That's my brother. And like I said, he's helped me out in ways that I could never repay him back. But not just for him. It's just the way that it is out here. That's the reality. It's not my fault if I tell you, if you go down that alley, you see that dog down there? That dog got rabies. And that's a long ass chain. Don't go down there. It ain't my fault if you go down there, you get bit and you caught rabies. It's not that I wanted it to happen. It's just the way that it is. So we were having a back and forth about different things, and precedent. So my brother throws out this whole 9to5Google thing just came out of that discussion. So my brother throws an article out there and he says, look, man, this is why I feel what I feel. Here goes an example to support my case, right? So I looked at the article. It's the 9to5Google article on this exact game. And I said to myself, because I saw this article about a day or two ago, I've already seen it. It's already out there. And I said, but no. Excuse me. When he put that article out there, I thought it was a new article. So I saw it because of the title. And I saw the title and it made me like double take. And I said, well, if that's the case, if they put this on, I said, they just dropped the article like a day or two ago. So if they're dropping another one, unless they got powerful paramount information. They're just trying to get on the clickbait game. I said, are you surprised? And then I actually clicked on the article that he put out there. And it was the same 9to5 article that was out there that, but with a different, with a more clickbaity title. So I go to my brother. I'm like, hold on. We got to stop this conversation right here. Hold on. I was just joking with you. I didn't even realize that they changed the article. Because he was like, yeah, I admit when I'm wrong. I'm like, no. It ain't even about that no more. Our little friendly bar back and forth, that's over. We got bigger fish to fry here. We'll continue this later. And come to find out that 9to5Google redid the article headline for it to match the more clickbait stuff. So I said, woo! Oh man, this is getting crazy out here. What?
Dirty Mac.
What?
Dirty Mac.
What?
Dirty Mac.
I said, woo! It's getting crazy out here. And that's when that song popped in my head. And I said, yo, what's going on here? So I started retweeting it, and people started paying attention to it. So in comes Ben Schoon, I think the senior editor at 9to5Google. I'm going to get into that in a little bit, but first I want to get to the chat. Shout out to my homie Gary Lennon. Good evening, Stadia. Shout out to him. Calvin Morgan in the house. What's up, Calvin, my good brother and a member of the channel. We also got another member of the channel, Carlos Jimenez. He says, here's my take. Google know that Gen X have the money to play, but don't have the time. Google said, let's make gaming as frictionless as possible, and it works. That's a good point. Oh, my brother Duncan is in the house. Duncan says, not blocking people who don't agree with me. I'm blocking people for other reasons, which I could tell you probably. No, that's not, no. The blocking start like, Duncan, here's the thing, bro. Despite what I may feel, like, look, I want to echo sentiments from Clive. I don't want to throw Clive into this. But Clive said something last night that I wanted to, I was going to talk about anyway, just not today. I was going to wait till tomorrow. That, because I know that you garner a lot of ire and a lot of people are mad at you personally, right? And something that Clive said, I wanted to echo. Like, despite our disagreements, you are a great guy. You're one of the nicest people. You were one of the accommodating forces to help Stadia Dosage get even recognized. If it wasn't for Duncan taking this newbie guy, MM2K, and putting him on the sucku every week, no telling where I would be. So like I said, I can't repay Duncan enough for how he supported this platform. So, and like I said, Duncan, if this social media is how you handle it however you want to. If you want to get out here and you want to say, look, Stadia is going to die tomorrow, and then just block everybody, that's your prerogative. All I'm saying in response is that not all of us, there are some of us that don't have any issue with you. We appreciate you. We love you, good friend. It's that we're used to rhetoric being backed up by precedent. And I think that's the challenge that you may be running into here and there. If you, as someone that's behind a publication and stuff like that, you're automatically going to have a target on your back when, quote unquote, the material isn't what people want it to be, right or wrong. So then you got to double down with when you do make off the cuff opinionated comments, that's going to double the targeting if there's not the links to provide behind it. Me asking you for links and stuff like that is just to strengthen the whole, is to sharpen the Fight Club ability, because regardless if you like it or not, I'm in our exchange, you said you didn't like the receipt game. You got to get into it, brother. It's all part of the game. There's nothing you can do about it. And what you're going to have to do, Duncan, is once cloud gaming becomes mainstream, and as someone who was invested in this early as yourself, and someone that got cloudy with a chance of gains, which is a staple of the reporting on said practices, when you give your opinions and you don't have it based with fact, you better be ready to block. You better just guard your account right now, brother, and only accept people at will. Because you ain't seen nothing in the mainstream PlayStation and Xbox world, I can tell you. So you're entitled to do whatever. You ain't got to explain it to anybody. You're entitled to do whatever you want. I'm just simply explaining why there's the response to a lot of the information. And to Clive's point, nobody knows. We're all trying to make what we feel are educated guesses. None of us know. I always say that. We could be walking around 6 months from now, and the educated guesses that you make are the right ones. We don't know. It's just that when you're normally debating over information and facts, that's what people draw to. Where's your facts to provide? You know what I'm saying? That's just part of the ambiance. So you block and you do whatever you got to do, what you feel is best for your well-being and for your health. I always told people that. I've always, haven't I? I've always said, if you feel like you got to block people or mute people, do it. But an explanation for the rebut I can't speak for everybody. So yeah, some people are just coming for the jugular to be mean. But for those that are just like, well, hold on, where is this coming from? Because I can't understand where you're connecting these dots. That's why. They're looking at precedent, they're looking at the rhetoric, and they can't match the precedent with the rhetoric. So they're like, well, hold on, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? And that's just part of the game. So, brother, you do what you got to do, man. You do what you got to do. Ralph Haley now says, what's up, MM2K? Great take. Great stream as always. I appreciate you, good brother. Amino, oh, here he goes. Well, the crowd was there, Stadia is done for. Just look at y'all, yeah, he made videos back to back about, oh, yeah, man, they getting paid. Immortal Block in the house. Quite fascinating seeing people speak on behalf of a company. Tyler Durden says, call the person out, MM. Clive and Linden, calm down, everyone. I'm here now. Let's get into it. My spiritual advisor, Clive. My brother, cold as ice, is in the house. He says, what's up, good brother? Good to see you. All right. So again, we've been going strong for 23 minutes and 26 seconds. Have you guys seen any game-breaking bugs or anything with Journey to Savage Planet? No, you have not. Duncan, don't block people. Just enjoy the hate. It's funny to read. Yeah. No, my brother got to do whatever he got to do. Blog post is out. 4 games coming. Oh, okay. All right. Pro March. 4 games coming to Pro for March, including 1 only on Stadia. Oh, okay. We're going to get into that. Thank you, El Boogie. So let me say this about the 9to5Google situation. So the homie Ed Schoon comes out, and in response to the attention now that the revamp of the article is having. Here, I want to pause this because I don't want there to be no mysteries. I don't want nobody to say, MM2K, you played the bad part in the background. You know it was messed up. So here's what's going on, y'all. So here's the tweet. Journey to the Savage Planet keeps crashing on Stadia, but Google killed the studio that can fix it. In other words, making it sound like that the people that could fix this problem are now gone and they're not available to fix it. That's the way that sounds. I mean, if I'm right, if I'm wrong, if you agree with how that sounds, put a 1 in the chat. If you disagree, put a 2 in the chat. Again, this article sounds like that Google threw away the people that could help, and then the people that can help are no longer available. Like they got this information. They got nuanced and new information that Typhoon Studios or whoever is responsible for fixing this issue is now out of Stadia's clutches. And hence why this thing ain't getting fixed. Right? Let me know. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree with that, or 2 if you feel like that I'm wrong. If you feel that that's not what this article looks like. Amador puts 3. Because I want people to see this. Because I know 9to5Google is looking at this, and I know Google is looking at this. Because Ben Shun has been all over Twitter trying to respond to people. So he sees the attention this is getting. Right? So, here's the problem. Look at this title, but I want you to look at the snippet that there was before. Stadia working on fix for Journey to the Savage Planet crash. That was the original title. Because that's what Stadia said, that they're working on the fix. Now, he's being legitimately asked, why repost an article you already posted about with a different headline? He said the article was updated with new information. Well, let's take a look at this new information. Oh, let me go back because I ain't got to do that. Let's take a look at this new information. The new information is updated today. As we expected, Google's shuttering of SG&E is wreaking havoc on fix for Journey to Savage Planet. How? What information do you have that supports this? Kotaku reports that 505 Games is telling users that they have no access to the Stadia port to Journey to Savage Planet, and such a fix can't fix the crashing issues. A second representative further confirmed that the user talking to a user about talking to Google about it, someone hilariously reminded Google that they are the ones responsible for fixing this problem. What does 505 Studios have anything to do with this? Google never pointed people to 505 Studios in order to fix this. Here's the closest thing that 9to5Google could gather from this. This individual says, no, it's just on Journey to the Savage Planet. I assume it's a widespread glitch because everyone's talking about it. Stadia support team responds, thanks for the details. We're aware of this and our team is diligently working with our partner publisher on a fix. We suggest keeping an eye on our social channels for updates. We appreciate your patience. So the simple fact that somebody from the Google response team that has been known for making mistakes, me and Brian Evolve were just joking about this before, where Brian put out there, when is the Superman game coming to Stadia? And somebody from this response team responded, we don't have any information on Superman 64 coming. Please check, they did the what's it called? So somebody from here mistakenly put publisher in here, but when you go to Grace from Google's response, it just says diligently working with our partners on a fix. Nowhere did Google point people to 505 Games. They are alluding that because of Kotaku's hit job, 505, this response to 505 Games has nothing to do with the tea in China. Even if SG&E was still around, 505 Games could do nothing about this. This is a Stadia port. This is a port issue. 505 would never be involved in this anyway. This is not enough information to change this title. From this to this. You have no new revelations. There is no new revelation. Am I drunk? Am I high? Am I missing something? Shout out to my spiritual advisor, Clive Linden. He says, this issue is the key quote from Kotaku, but to have added a disclaimer due to inaccuracies from Kotaku, not a good place to base it. Thank you, Clive. Now let's go. Now to Ben Shun's part, I can't even use the word credit. Ben says, well, we talk about Kotaku's inaccuracies. If you look, hey, Clive, now watch me work. Watch how I do this. If you look under the magical chalupa and then talk to the talking turtle behind the fifth wheel of cheese in the moon's axis, you'll find where we talk about Kotaku's mishandling. And here, after you get past the article in this light italic font, editor's note. Kotaku reported link above has several inaccuracies, most notably claiming that Google fired developers who can fix these issues. Google has not fired any developers, but is working to transition them to new roles in the company. However, the reporting on 505 games and the crashes in general are accurate. Kotaku presented nothing substantial to this that should result in this. The fact that the publisher told you, we can't do nothing about this random issue that, again, you can look at my chat, you can go to a lot of people. The majority of gamers on this platform with this game are not experiencing this issue. Now, I had somebody called TrueBot or something like that. He was in my chats. Excuse me. And he was like, yo, MM2K, I'm experiencing this issue. How come more of you guys aren't reporting on this? And we said, because we ain't experiencing this. What's going on? Can you provide a link? He never provided a link for me. So it dropped off my radar. Then he came back several days later. MM2K, what we going to do about this, man? Can you help? And I said, brother, provide me a link. He never provided a link. But the next day, this became a news story. And I said, well, the news cycle will handle it itself. But there's nothing substantial from 505 games that warranted this title change. Because I asked Ben. Let me see if I can find my tweet to Ben. So I said the focus of the ire, Ben, because Ben went on this long tangent about, Google did this, and then the game ain't working for some people, and you know what I'm saying? If you backspin on your back with a Gucci jumpsuit on and 5 gold chains, it might hit you in the teeth. All this crazy stuff, right? That didn't had nothing to do with the tea in China. So when people be going on these rants, I do what I normally do. I said, let's bring it on home, Ben. I said, Ben, the focus of the ire, let me make it bigger for the people in the back. The focus of the ire is the article headline change, not all this other magical chalupa stuff that you're talking about, good brother. It looks to have been made to reflect the recent swarm of news from outlets with similar demeaning titles. What was wrong with the old title? We would love to add your perspective to the record, Ben. Now, here's my question to you. Here's my question to you. Hold on, let me do this again. Hold on. What's that? What's that?
Dirty Mac.
What's that?
Dirty Mac.
Did 9to5Google, Dirty Mac, Stadia? In other words, did they backstab Stadia even further? Their article was fine. This update, as a matter of fact, this thing from 505 Studios or 505 Games is meaningless. It actually takes away from the article. If you read the article, they are hitting hard on Stadia anyway. And this ain't about MM2K being upset, because we know there's going to be some people that echo that sentiment, that MM2K is upset because 9to5Google don't agree or not putting Stadia in a positive light. 9to5Google, to be fair to them, have not always put Google in a positive light, and that's not their job. They report on Google products. Just like Windows Central may not always report positive stuff on Windows or Microsoft. That's fine. It's okay. It's all right. There are things that I've agreed with where they spoke of negatively about Google, things I've disagreed with. That's not the point. They're entitled to their opinion, and you're not wrong for your opinion. We're just asking about this practice of Dirty Mac and Stadia, because now you see these flood of clickbait articles out here, and I ask, what was the basis of you changing the article title? Because this doesn't provide anything. The element that you're trying to provide or you're trying to state is that because Google shut down SG&E, that means that nobody's around, nobody's in reach that can fix this problem. Kotaku didn't confirm that. This excerpt about 505 Games doesn't confirm that. There's no information on that. So I asked Ben, I said, Ben, did you and your team do any research to see if that was the case? If they retained people from 505 Studios, maybe as independent contractors temporarily or whatever, to work on this problem? Do we know that? Maybe this bug is bigger, even though it's smaller in scope. Maybe it's a bigger fix than they expected, and maybe it would have took them a long time anyway to fix, whether SG&E was still there or not. We see bugs that don't get addressed for weeks, if not months. This ain't new. And these are bugs that are there with companies that are established that ain't going nowhere. Like, for instance, we had a game-breaking bug in Cyberpunk. Well, we had an enormous amount of game-breaking bugs in Cyberpunk, but one that deleted your save file after it got over 8 megabytes. That's extreme. That hurts everybody. And it took them longer than what it's taken this to fix that, and they haven't gone anywhere. So my question to 9to5Google was, what was in this reporting from this entity that you yourself reported is embroiled in mass fallacies in their reporting? What was in this paragraph that made it so paramount for you to change this? That's all I'm asking. Ben had no answer for that. I'm still waiting on an answer. Ben, I know you're watching. If you provide an answer, I'll be more than glad to put it out there. I'll even be glad to sit there and talk to you in a lot calmer fashion and to ask you about this. We can have a civil conversation about this. But I'm letting you know, perception is 9/10 to the law. And just like how you feel that Stadia stumbled and fell into this mess, so did you. You fell into this mess. There is nothing here in this update from Kotaku that warrants this title change. You cited that the article was updated because of new information. This new information has nothing to do with the change in the title. The title that you had before was just fine. The perception is, which it looks like it's right, the perception is that after the flood of articles from GameSpot, IGN, there's a whole crap load of articles out there right now. Oh, look at that. We got Ben in the house. He says, hey, man, the article has been updated again because Google says the issue has been fixed. I appreciate your offer for a civil conversation, but that's already what I did on Twitter. Hey, look, Ben, I love you, brother. I love the work that y'all do, but I got to keep it real just like y'all keep it real, right? You felt like that you were keeping it real in this article, and I had no issue with the article as you wrote it, talking about how you guys hammered Stadia. I may not have agreed with everything, just like I didn't agree with you guys' take on the whole class action lawsuit thing. But again, opinions are opinions. You're entitled to them. But again, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. You changed this article title after the flood of similar articles sitting there getting hits. You used as a reason this paragraph from 505 Games. I got to be honest with you, Ben, and I love you, good brother, but it just doesn't jive. If you don't need to defend yourself, you wouldn't have been here, Ben. But I appreciate you coming in and updating us on the article. Thank you very much. But you wouldn't have been here if you didn't feel like you needed to defend yourself. That's what I'm saying. This whole situation is just a walking contradiction. It's a walking contradiction, like that Starburst, a walking contradiction. You had a suitable article with suitable information. You claim that this newfound information that does nothing to enhance the article with any new noteworthy information is why you changed the article. You note that the people that you base this off of is full of fallacies, but you put that in italics at the bottom. But you put the salacious stuff in the main article. Why is this at the bottom? Why is it this up here? You see what I'm saying? Hold on. So Clive put the link in here. I'm going to check out the link. Oh, shoot. Hold on. Let me mute this. I'm going to put the new article up here. Oh, wrong link. Okay. He put the wrong link. So let me leave that up there. And then I'm going to go back to the article again and see what he put up here this time. Update. Fix. Journey to the Savage. Oh, Lord Jesus. Update. Fix. Journey to the Savage Planet keeps crashing on Stadia. Ben Shun, change the title again to Stadia Fix Bug. I dare you. Ben says, Clive, the headline has been changed to reflect the new information. I just like the first. All right. So but to be fair, let's read the new information. Let's be fair to Ben. And again, Ben, none of this is personal, brother. It's just that when the community puts a question to you, you got to answer the question directly. And you didn't do that at first. I'm not saying that people don't go to 9to5Google. I love your site. I love it. I love it. It's the number one site that I refer to, whether I agree with the thesis of the article or not. I love you guys' work. But people in the Stadia community are fed up with inaccuracies and clickbait motives. They're fed up with it. And when there's questions about it, if you don't answer it, perception is 9/10 of the law. Just like how you're treating Stadia. Stadia hasn't come out and said specifically who's working on what the ETA is and all that other stuff, right? So because they haven't come out and said that, you're automatically bottling this a mess and going off of comments from 505 Studios that don't have nothing to do with the tea in China. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. If Stadia is not answering the questions that you feel are relevant, therefore it's okay for you to perceive what XYZ notion, why is it not good for you guys? Here goes update number 2. Google says on Reddit the issue with Journey to the Savage Planet has been fixed. That's great to see. So yeah, keeps crashing on state. Yeah, see, again, I hate to get into this realm of, I'm going to tell you, look, you want to know what the good title was? Stadia working on a fix to Journey to the Savage Planet crash. That was the good article. Or that was the good headline. Because our good friend Ben is here. Let's do an exercise. Let's show him that MM2K isn't crazy. If you agree that the title should be fixed, Stadia working on fix to Journey of the Savage Planet, update fixed. If that should be the title, the original title should be the title with update fixed on it, opposed to this crap and opposed to this crap. If y'all think I'm right, put a 1 in the chat. If you think everything is okay the way that it is, put 2 in the chat. Why? Because it gives the impression that it keeps crashing for everybody. Again, I'll go to my hour-and-a-half video where I haven't yet to run into any bugs with this game. Now, again, I'm not saying I'm the overlordian of what happens with Journey to the Savage Planet. But here's the problem, Ben. Despite whether we agree or disagree, which isn't the point, it doesn't matter. Despite any of that, 9to5Google is known for its integrity. It's known for its integrity. And I'm telling you that this whole stint falls against that. Now, if you think I'm being unfair, that's fine. Just like how you said Google created this mess. I got to be honest with you, Ben, you created this mess. Why do I say that? Why does MM2K say that? Because, Ben, when I pointed you back from you going in the weeds, and I said the focus of the ire is the article headline change. It looks to have been made to reflect the recent swarm of news from outlets with similar demeaning titles. What was wrong with the old one? We would love to add your perspective. Here's what you said, Ben. I didn't say this, you did. I changed the headline to reflect the new information. Google may still be working on a fix, but the more notable detail is that Google's own actions now serve as a roadblock to delivering that fix. Hence the revised headline. Negative spin, yes. Deserved, yup. My question to you is what part of Google's actions, number one, did you show prolong this being fixed? They reported on it on the 22nd, which was yesterday. It's fixed by today. So apparently, and most of us that play the game on Stadia, we have no occurrence of this. Right? We have no occurrence. So you don't know, Ben, right? Tell me if I'm right or if I'm wrong. You don't know, Ben, if people from Typhoon Studios was still subcontracted, even though they were no longer part of SG&E, if part of them was still subcontracted for a little longer to work on the game. Do you know that, yes or no? If the answer is, I know that, and that wasn't the case, and they had to scramble and they paid somebody, they got him out of the bed at night, then I'll concede. But if you don't know that, Ben, then you don't have enough information from Kotaku to make the change that you made. That's number one. Here's number two. Hold on, I got people hit me. Yeah, I know the bug is already fixed. Thank you, good brother. Here's number two, which I thought was more interesting than anything else. Shout out to my brother Wrath, Mr. 1030 Gaming. After, Ben, you went on this long stint in the weeds about, well, Google did this and Google did, you still never answered the question. Where is the conclusive proof that because SG&E was shut down, Google didn't have people working on this problem or nobody was available to work on this problem? Because that is the thesis of your article. But bigger than that, which goes to the heart of the matter, why the clickbaity subject or headline change, when you were asked why you changed it, these again were your words. The article was first published yesterday and was updated after the information about 505 responses came out. Also, the headline shown there is an SEO headline for Google search. Y'all know what that means, right? Because I write for Broadband Bullies. Y'all know what that means. That means that the change was made exactly for what we said it was made for. SEO search just means how Many times your articles or keywords in your articles will show up and further take up the search ladder, your article. So if this is SEO related, it's exactly for what we said for. Ben, I'm here. I'm here, Ben. If you want to elaborate. Says, I'm pretty sure you were told this multiple times on Twitter, but the headline you referred to was an SEO headline and never the headline on the site. I believe, no, that was the headline on the site, I believe. No, I believe that this was the headline on the site. And I wish I had a snippet of that because as a matter of fact, the fact that when I saw that after the original post, I said, oh, hold on, this is a new article. Thank you, Carlos. And but Ben, how is that the case? Didn't you just say over here? Hold on, brother. Something ain't jiving here. Am I going crazy? Something ain't jiving here. Let me see something here. Now, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But something ain't jiving here. Let me see. Bear with me, y'all. Bear with me as I find my good brother Ben's article. I changed the headline to reflect the new information. Am I crazy? No. Let's try this one more time. If I'm crazy, type in 2. But if this right here, if the brother before this, now this was made earlier in the day. This was an hour ago. This was about an hour ago when we were asking him why he changed the title. The focus of the ire is the article headline change. It looks to have been made to reflect the recent swarm of news from other outlets with similar demeaning titles. What was wrong with the old one? Would love to add your perspective to it, Ben. He right here an hour ago admitted that I changed the headline to reflect the new information. Look, here's the thing, brother. Love 9to5Google. I will continue to clip 9to5Google and utilize their articles. But you are responsible for the same ire that Google's responsible for. And I'll be honest with you. Yes, I've argued a million times on this channel that I don't like the close to the vest approach that Google takes. It embellishes the target that they have on their back. So because of that, when things happen and Google stays silent about it, they kind of add ammo to their own attack in a lot of ways. Some things they just can't, like this firestorm and stuff that they're getting right now. Google has to add games. They got to drop AAA games. We got to know when Resident Evil's coming. Is that coming day and date? So forth and so forth. That's how they get out of this. I beckoned back to Xbox when Xbox was having this problem. Xbox, sent Phil, Mike Ybarra, Aaron Greenberg out there every day, and every day they were getting curb stomped. Until when? Until Game Pass got to a level to where the media admired it. Now that the media admire Game Pass, even though the moniker Xbox ain't got no games is still lingering over there, they often revert back to Game Pass and say, but Game Pass. So Google's only way out of this bad news is to get the platform to a point to where, despite any negative news out there, that's not what lingers, that people could say, but Stadia Pro or but Project Hellstorm or whatever their frontline product or service mantra is going to be. Until they get to that point, this is going to be a never-ending story. So I get all that. But with that said, Ben, just as Google not answering questions is an issue, or answering them in a coherent fashion is an issue, the same is going to apply to you. Now, brother, you sat here and you done gave us 6 different explanations. Brother, you told us that it was an SEO change. Then you telling me right here, I changed the headline to reflect the new information. Now you're telling me that it was solely an SEO change. It seems like that you're trying to dance around it. What people, the article headline that you came up with today at the beginning of all this was a lot more clickbaity than what it was yesterday. And people want to know why. And when you responded why, because of the 505 article, we can't understand how the 505 article relates to anything. All the 505 piece relates to is that people went and asked 505 games, which 505 games wouldn't have been able to do anything whether SG&E was still intact or not. So people are questioning you on why you changed that headline. Whether if what you're saying is this headline right here that I'm pointing to is an SEO headline only, and it's slightly different from the headline that was on the article. What I'm telling you is the article wasn't this, or the headline wasn't that. It's on you. It's indicative of you. You got to answer questions just like everybody else do, brother. Love your work, but on this one, I think y'all bumbled this one. Y'all bungled this one. It'll be okay. MM2K is not telling anybody not to go to 9to5Google. Please, that's not the message to get from this. The question was, did 9to5Google seize on an opportunity to do what?
Dirty Mac.
To do what?
Dirty Mac.
What?
Dirty Mac.
Did 9to5Google seize on an opportunity to dirty Mac Stadia and come up with a clickbait article to follow all the other clickbait articles? And the answer is yes. It's yes. All right. With that said, there's supposed to be a new Stadia blog out here. Let's get into it. Y'all gonna get a live reaction to what I think about that Stadia blog. So there. And also that track is Ice Cube Predator. It's called Dirty Mac. I recommend that if you're not listening to it with earphones or you're listening to it in the vicinity of kids, go ask for the clean version. All right, here we go, folks. Show it. This week on Stadia, new games this week, plus Pixel Junk Raiders and more coming March 1st to Stadia Pro. A new game approaches, and that means a batch of free games with Stadia Pro. 4 games are headed to Stadia Pro on Monday, March 1st, including the return of one of gaming's most beloved series, Pixel Junk Raiders. It's the latest creation from the geniuses at Q Games. All right, let's go look at it. Let's take a look. So these are the 4 Stadia Pro games, A Place for the Willing, Shantae, the Genie Hero, Shantae, Risky Revenge, and Welcome to the Elk. My immediate reaction, y'all, is the Shantae games remind me so much of what do you call that damn game? Wonder Boy. And so those are the games that'll tickle my fancy. A new month approaches. That means a new batch of free games with Stadia Pro. 4 games are headed to Stadia Pro on March 1st, including the return of one of gaming's most beloved series, Pixel Junk Raiders. Okay, that looks cool. Pixel Junk Raiders is the latest from planet Tintel is under attack by fiendish aliens and on harvesting population's life force. Okay. It's only on Stadia. It's new, it's exciting, and it's only on Stadia. Let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at Pixel Junk Raiders. Game is about. Oh, that looks okay. All right. Okay. All right. So far, so decent. So far, so decent. Okay, all right. I'm okay. All right. All right. Oh, I'm liking this. Okay. Dope. Wow. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm liking this. Oh, this is dope. Okay. All right. Well, a job well done, Dead Platform. This does look good, Rev. This looks good. Wow. Okay, all right. Gandar says that the game was this was the game that Q Game showcase at GDC 2019, which was meant to showcase state share. Everybody was waiting for this game over a year. Yeah, see, games take time. You got COVID and games take time. Oh, that's dope. I like that. Okay, Stadia. All right. Plus, there are more games headed to Stadia Pro in March. Mix your way across universe of light sound. Advocacy and Vector launching straight into Stadia Pro. Become a DJ in this cosmic musical adventure. Okay. Also coming to Stadia Pro. Oh, the mayhem of Pac-Man Megaton. Oh, okay. All right, cool. Pac-Man Megaton Battle is coming to Stadia Pro. You can claim all 4 of these games with Stadia Pro come March 1st. Sign up for. All right, okay. So I think that's cool. More games in the Stadia store today. Welcome to the Elk is there, a place for the unwilling. Shantae to have Genie Hero is there, and a Risky Revenge. And then they got pro discounts. All right, cool. All right. So I think that and I agree with this. I think it's a good blog post. And I think it has a game that has a broad appeal in Pixel Junk Raiders. They just got to advertise it. I'll do my job to advertise it. I'll do a story on this later. I'll have a video coming up on this later. And then they got to show that the AAA games are coming. If they do that, y'all, I think Stadia Pro is in an excellent place. I think Stadia will be in a good place. Now, can I speak to that in certainty? No, I can't speak to that in certainty. Even though I will say this, and before I had my back and forth with my good friend Ben, I talked to some individuals off the record. Remember 2K got, talked to some people off the record. I will say that I was enlightened by my conversation with individuals. Talked to a few of them yesterday about different things, just asking different questions. It strengthened my confidence. I'm not going to sit there and bloviate and overextend it like, I got to, I found out that Call of Duty's coming tomorrow. No, I'm not going to say, something crazy like that. What I will say is that it heavily strengthened my belief that, again, this is a rebranding, a reboot from Stadia, that they had to really get together and be product focused first. They had to realign their thinking and be product focused first. And then after they re-solidified what is this product about, then they could start to focus on what the content is going to be about. And I think that's what you're going to start seeing. I'm optimistic on the future, and I'm excited about the future. And these conversations that I've had just help strengthen that. I'm hoping that the people that I've talked to, we can get them on record sometime. I don't want to put any pressure on anybody. We'll talk, get them later on, and maybe, get them to talk to you about what they can talk about, because now I know a lot of people will listen to this and say, MM2K, Stadia should be doing this. And I think I beckon to Sick Humor, of the Sick Humor podcast. He said something to me that has stuck with me. Shout out to him. When I was on there with Eddie Player One, we was on the Sick Humor Roundtable podcast. And Sick Humor said something to me that I had an answer for, but it didn't hit me. It was like one of those punches them rabbit punches that pow! It hits you and you still got your adrenaline, but when you get home, you hold your eye, right? And this from Sick Humor. Shout out to Sick Humor in Kingston. Oh, let me put this broken that keeps crashing, right? Shout out to 9to5Google. Let me put the game that keeps crashing out here up on the screen. Sick Humor said to me, he said, look, Moss, I get you're enthusiastic about Stadia and all this other stuff, but and he was shooting things at me. And I was like, Sick, look, bro, you are saying stuff to me that is false. That is not right. That's mixed up, kind of like what we talked about earlier today. That's being overbloviated for clicks. That people are talking like they have information that they're not confirming. Their titles look a certain way, but they haven't confirmed any other information. They confirm the information, great. But until they do that, people are going to have questions. I said, because this is the ebb and flow of the media, and damn, even the media that we expect not to even do this stuff, as we saw today. Being that this is the ebb and flow of the media, I said, bro, you can't go to the mainstream media and get your news. I said, you got to go to Stadia Source, go here, go there. Even listen to me, I do. And Sick was like, pause, bro, pause. He said, now why, to get unbiased information, would I go to anybody with Stadia in their name or Google in their name? Because I think I said, you got to go to 9to5Google, Chroma. He said, no, why would I go there? He said, I'm looking for unbiased information. Those guys, just by having Google's or Stadia's name in their title, they've already looked like they've been compromised. He said, I can't find no quote unquote perceivably uncompromised source that is saying the things that you're saying. And it was like that rabbit punch in the eye. I was like, bow. As I got home and I thought about it later, like, dang, he really punched me in the eye hard as hell. Right, Cat? All right, now you got to get out of here. All right. So with that said, even Google has come out 1,000 times over. There was the official business blog post that left that by itself, was a little tone deaf. But then there was what Grace from Google put in the community. Then there's the stuff from the Google community. Then there's the Catherine Hassai interview that occurred after Hitman 2 or Hitman 3 launched on the platform, and it was noted by somebody that would have been privy to this information when the final decision was made, right? And notice how when she's in that interview, she's talking solely about the product in external development. There is no talk about SG&E. There's a reason for that. So even though that interview maybe didn't occur on that exact same day, there was a reason why Stadia didn't want to redact it, and a reason why the talking points was at an external developer level. Sorry, y'all. It's my crazy behind cat trying to jump on the desk. Get out of here. So, there's a reason for all that, because the decision was already made. Then you, like I said, 1,000 times over, Stadia said, we're not going anywhere. We got more games to show you. Nobody has had to confirm so many ways over that we're sticking around like Stadia has. And people are still like, they're like that Tracy Morgan gift. Nope, they're shaking, one where he's shaking his head. Nope, don't believe it. Yeah, until I see Phil Harrison cut off his ring finger like John Wick in John Wick 3, go to the deserts, wrap it up in a tortilla, and toss it towards the moon, I don't believe Stadia is going to be around. That's how everybody act. So can you blame Google for not coming out here? It's not going to help. At this point in time, it's not going to help. And I think Stadia recognizes that what they got to do is they just got to produce the games. So my information to y'all is, or my suggestion to y'all is, that if you have hopes for this platform, if you believe in this platform, you're enjoying what you're getting right now, and you're operating day to day, and you're liking what you're seeing in 2021 so far, just sit tight. Ignore the noise. Ignore the noise that tried to make it seem like that Stadia couldn't get this thing fixed when they just told you yesterday we're working on it. And you got publications out here that made it seem like that everybody, that all the Typhoon Studios was in Cancun and they left, and they're playing hacky sack in Bermuda somewhere and nobody's available to fix it. With no context to behind the scenes, what arrangements that Google have to have people working on it. Typhoon, while all this was going on, the people that were of Typhoon Studios that were let go of SG&E could have been subcontracted to work on this. If that's the case, is that a mess? Does that mean that there's a big mess? No. That's the type of noise that you got to ignore, because they're going to report on it. We can't stop them for reporting on it, just like they can't stop us from commenting on what they report. But my suggestion would be ignore the noise, look out for AAA games. I think the next big test would be how soon Stadia is able to announce that they're getting Resident Evil. I've said this before again. This is not a Stadia fan site show. I'm critical where I need to be critical, without all the noise. We told y'all a few weeks ago, Stadia was going to be at a standstill unless they readdress the whole SG&E thing. And Stadia proved that time after time by going into the different platforms and going by doing different things and not addressing this, trying to move business as usual. When they tried to move business as usual, nobody was trying to hear it. I was hearing stuff in the gaming streets. Man, I'm not investing another dime into Google until they revisit this thing. They did so. Now everybody talking about Pixel Junk, the game I just showed you, and they can't wait to get Outcasters. They had to do that. Another thing I feel like that they got to do, and again, I'm not always right, but a thing that I feel like that they may have to do is, I feel like that Stadia is going to have to try to do the best that they can to get Resident Evil as close to day and date as possible, and B, make that announcement as soon as possible. Resident Evil is a console seller. I'm letting you know right now that when a lot of these people go to these consoles, they may not come back for a while. And that's, you want to make progress. You don't want to go backwards. You don't want to, you don't want to impede the progress that you made with Cyberpunk 2077. So that's why I'm telling Stadia that they're going to have to let people know as soon work. The big thing, the numero uno thing, from what we know that's on the docket, unless you got Call of Duty on the docket, but the numero uno thing that I would be working on more recently is letting people know that, or maybe not numero uno, because again, like I said, we don't know everything that's in the pipeline, but a big ticket item would be letting people, trying to get Resident Evil 8 or Resident Evil Village as close to day and date as possible, and making that announcement as soon as possible. Okay, Resident Evil is coming to Stadia. Those that are fans of the platform that would rather play it on Stadia, they'd be willing to wait for it as long as it's confirmed that it's coming, or when it's confirmed that it's coming. They'd be willing to wait. So, but with that said, whoa, this was an entertaining, SLS. One that's going to go down in history books. Let me go back to you guys in the chat. Amanor says, time is ticking. I need to hurry with Resident Evil because my fans already pre-ordered in their favorite console. Charles said, Call of Duty will be good, but could the infrastructure handle it when Cyberpunk launched? Yeah, that's a good point. Monster Hunter. Sam Gaming in the house. Good to see you. They need Call of Duty. Thomas Collins says, bro, Lunar flopped in MMO and nothing. Stadia does as much as a glitch. That's what again. And I know a lot of people want to look at this as MM2K. You just want to hate on other platforms because there's bad news for Stadia. No. What we're doing, and to Clive's point on his show last night, Clive pointed out that he was watching a show where people were talking about equivalent things happening on different platforms. And when they happen on platform A, oh, it's okay. It's going to be all right. Everything's going to be okay. But when it happened on Stadia, no, it's the end of the world. Stadia's going down tomorrow. I'm selling your Stadia controllers tomorrow on eBay. And it's like, what the F? Victor says, state share. Let's see it actually happen. Okay, and this is the comment from our good friend Gundar. Shout out to you. Ralph says, those aren't the free ones. Oh, okay, you're the ones I was looking at earlier. Yeah, my bad. Those weren't the pro games. My bad. But yeah, I mean, look, like I said, this platform is a platform about being a steward of the truth. I love my friends. I love my family. I love everybody that I pretty much work with. There's a very few amount of people that I can't appreciate and love for what they do. With that being said, we have a responsibility here on Stadia Dosage to ensure that the truth, that things are presented on factually as possible. What we saw today, for not just, and again, it wasn't Google, 9to5Google, it was other publications, wasn't on that plane. It wasn't on an even kill factual plane. And it proves it. The fix is already made, right? Am I right or am I wrong? All this headline mess that they went through with this headline, all this mess, right? Google killed the studio that can fix it. Oh, Google created this massive mess and a day after they reported, hey, we're aware of this issue, we're going to fix it, it's fixed. Where is the mess? This wasn't widespread. You're looking at an hour and a half long footage of Journey to the Savage Planet. Where is the mess? There are bugs in many games that take forever to be fixed. Why are we trying to bloviate something beyond what it is? It got to be questioned, and if you're going to do it, you got to be willing to answer the questions. Don't turn your nose up to the air and say, how dare you? I'm surprised. How dare you question us? We're just doing news reporting. No, everybody's going to be questioned, including me. When people ask me questions, I don't get upset, man. How dare you? I'm MM2K, Stadia Dosage, 1,400 subscribers. I don't do that crap. I answer the question, and then I retort it back to you. Okay, so now you want to die on this hill. Where's your proof? I provided mine. That's all. That's how we do, and that's what we do here, like it or not. With that said, thank you very much, everybody. Appreciate and love all of y'all. I will have a video talking more distinctively about this information and getting it right, showing y'all the pro games. But I like what I see. I think it's a fairly decent month. What I said, appreciate and love all of y'all. Until next time, have a wonderful gaming day. Peace.